Hey everybody, this is Grace, and in this video, I'm going to talk about when dysfunctional parents or grandparents see a certain type of teachable moment. Instead of seeing it as a teachable moment to teach a child, some life lessons, instead they take it as it bruises their ego that the child asks them a question about why would you do this. Okay, they see it as some call it narcissistic injury, and then they'll go into a narcissistic rage when all the child is wanting to do is to learn something. Okay, to get an answer, to understand why. Okay? Okay. Now, maybe some people can relate to this. Maybe you grew up in a household that no smoking was allowed. Okay, your parents didn't smoke, grandparents didn't smoke, aunts, uncles didn't smoke, and no matter. Of course, the children didn't smoke either because it was no smoking in the house. And nobody smoked that lived in the house. And they didn't sneak out and go smoke. No, nobody smoked. And now you have children. I'm saying you. I do this in every video. I don't know why, but it's a bad habit. But say they have children, and plural. That's what I'm getting at. And one of the children is a very curious type, that kind of like me. When I was a child, I would always say why. If something, something social, something whatever, I would say why. I wasn't accusing them. I would just say why. Why does it mean that? Why does it work that way? Why? What led up? But the question was always usually why. Okay. Now, like I said, okay, there's no smoking in the house, but say the father has a friend who comes over and smokes. They have an ashtray set aside for him, in the cabinet, up in the cabinet, and your parents, see, I'm doing it again. The parents come down and get the ashtray down and let the person smoke in the house. And it can be more than just that one person. It's certain people they will allow to smoke in the house, guests, and certain, and nobody else, no family member, no, only certain people. Now, me, wouldn't any child, do you think, be kind of curious why they do that? Why they don't let any family member do it? Like they may have a brother or sister or cousin or whatever who smokes, who's an adult, and they say no. But those friends, yes, it's okay. Why can it only be certain guests? Why, they ask why. Now, instead of that, it says they ask the dad. Instead of the dad taking that as a teachable moment to explain their behavior, why they do this and why they don't do that, then they could find reasons. They could find reasons that makes logical sense in their brain, not to anybody else. But anyway, they get angry, like I said earlier. They just get so angry. They go, they feel like this is a bruised ego. How dare that child question my authority? Authoritarian type father. It's my rules. Don't do as I say, not as I do. When I tell you no, that means no, and you cannot question why. It's this way. It's going to be this way because I said so. And this type. Now the child, like I said, is not questioning authority. It's just curiosity of why would somebody, in this case it's them, and so they can learn later on in life. They're children. They don't know, but as children they say, maybe there's a life lesson here for me. There's certain people you allow to do things and certain people you don't. A child doesn't see that. Should it really be that way? They're just curious. Okay, but like I said, this father took it as an ego bruise. Like I said, some say narcissistic injury. And let's see, I have a little note here. I'm not sure what I meant on this. It said easier to change now at a young age since more awareness is out there. But actually, I think, yeah, it was more about, I moved to a different topic of, a lot of people say that narcissistic people will never change and all that. And they see it on a spectrum. I see it on a continuum. And I also see that if you catch it early in life, and if they're trained right, from childhood. Now, I'm not an expert on childhood, so this is just my opinion on it as a social and behavioral scientist, that if a child is taught things, that whole lesson right there might actually be a good thing, that the parent, the father got mad and wouldn't answer. Because they would be taught that you treat certain people certain ways, other ones a different way, with of course, no explanation about why, which type, or whatever. But still, they were taught at the same time that you do that. Okay. You treat different people different ways, only if you have something to benefit from it. And but they're taught right at a young age, maybe not. Okay, and then I put that it's not a one-size-fits-all, and of course it's not. I never liked it when people say it's all or none, so that kind of black and white thinking. Anyway, how many of you have examples of teachable moments that were ruined because the parent or parents, got their ego bruised? They didn't believe a child should ask. They had that whole mentality of a child should be seen and not heard. And they just don't believe in helping, explaining to a child why they do things the way that they do things. You see. And in turn, they may never give the child any direction in life at all. Okay. And I think many people know that nobody's perfect. Okay, nobody is perfect. And as parents, even grandparents, we can make mistakes of not, when a child is curious about something, not taking the time to explain, why it's going on. But to go to that extreme of feeling that a child is so threatening by asking the question why, to go into a fit of rage, or just flatten it out, not answer the child because how dare the child. There's some problems there. Not just one. I can think of many. But nobody is perfect. We know that. We do know that. But to go to that extreme, to me it just seems a bit narcissistic. And that's just one. Okay, just one. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you feel like leaving a comment, do so below. Remember, everybody can read your comments. I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.